From apologizing for your own death,
my sincere apologies. I had hoped that I would continue in this format for the next 10 or even 15 years.
to engaging a whole community to recreate your Magnum Opus together. Here are 6 YouTubers who sadly passed away too soon. Starting off with Paul Harrell. As a United States Army and Marine Corps veteran, his channel was a place for measured, educational and safety-first discussions about guns and outdoor skills. His tagline,
So, as always, don't try this at home, I'm what you call a professional,
was a familiar and comforting sign-off for his million-plus subscribers. In 2023, he shared that he had been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer.
Here's the headline. I was recently diagnosed with pancreatic cancer.
But despite his diagnosis, he continued to create and comforted his viewers that the videos would continue.
The first one is, don't jump ship. Don't unsubscribe. We are going to be here putting out content every week or nearly every week for a long time to come.
But in early September 2024, the video titled I'm Dead was posted.
So if you're watching me, I'm dead.
Then, in a moment of profound humility, he apologized to his viewers.
The final thing I would want to say is my sincere apologies. I had hoped that I would continue in this format for the next 10 or even 15 years. And even once I was diagnosed, I had hoped that we'd be here 2 or 3 more years, and it's turned out to be only a few more months.
The video then cut to his brother, Roy, who confirmed Paul's passing and announced his intention to continue the channel and uphold Paul's legacy.
I am heartbroken to announce that what you heard is true. Paul Harrell has passed away. It was his wish that I maintain his legacy through this channel by continuing to put out high-quality educational content with the flair we all know and love from him.
There's a substantial void in the universe now that cannot be filled. He was what you call a professional and will be sorely missed. This is a powerful video. Accepting our fate is something all of us struggle with, especially me. It gives me peace to know that those who know their end is here accept it in a very positive way. Thanks for sharing. While Paul's passing left a silence in the firearms community, another corner of the internet was quietly losing its own icon. Back in 2020, as the world went into lockdown, a retired MIT engineer named Lynn Yamada Davis started making cooking videos with her son Tim. To help him practice his cinematography skills, what started as a simple home project absolutely exploded into a global phenomenon known as Cooking with Linja. Behind all those joyful videos though, Linja was battling serious health issues.
Ninja Turtles. Unfortunately, I have bad news, but I also have good news and great news. The bad news is back in 2019, I was diagnosed with throat cancer. It changed my voice, and that's why I think I sound like Marge, Mabel, and Toad.
Last day of radiation. How do you feel?
I feel great. I'm so excited.
You look great, Mom.
In 2021, I was diagnosed with esophageal cancer, but the good news is I just finished my cancer treatment. You go, girl.
She sadly passed away on January 1st, 2024 at the age of 67.
I'm super sad to inform you that, unfortunately, Linja, my mom, has passed away. Her final moments were super peaceful, and thankfully she was surrounded by the people she loved most, her friends and family.
Her son Tim announced her death in a beautiful tribute video, sharing photos that celebrated her amazing life, both before and after her internet fame. Many creators paid their respects to the news.
Linja passed away on New Year's Day. You probably knew her as the fun-loving, cooking grandma, but I'll always remember her as the woman who fought off her cancer diagnosis for as long as she could, humbly and quietly without ever complaining, until it got the best of her.
Oh my fucking god. I thought it was... Everybody spent more in the chat, bro.
Tim honored his mother's final wish, to post all the remaining videos she had filmed. For weeks after her passing, new Cooking with Linja videos continued to appear, a final gift to the community she adored. Unfortunately, Brian Barzik was met with the same awful disease. Brian was a champion for the voiceless. He was a passionate advocate for reptiles and wildlife.
Salty, we're going for a trip. You remember PetSmart? You loved it there last time. Safety first.
Stop. I swear to God, I'll crash right into the building. Is that what we want to do?
We're on our way. Salt, a little bit of advice. Don't take any driver's training from Lori.
Through his YouTube channel, he introduced millions to the beauty and importance of creatures that are so often misunderstood. His ultimate dream was to build a legacy aquarium, a massive, interactive facility in his home state of Michigan. In 2023, Brian revealed he had been diagnosed with terminal pancreatic cancer.
Here it is. It's not good. It's
pancreatic cancer. For anyone that knows about cancers, they'll know that that's not a good one to have. The success rate is not very good. We don't know yet how early we caught it and where we're at with it. Over the next couple weeks, I'll have a lot more information, know what kind of treatment, somewhat prognosis. But listen, it's best case scenario, it's typically about 10% success rate. But you know, I've beat the odds many times in my life. And so I'm believing I'm going to be in that 10%.
Despite the devastating news, he threw every ounce of his remaining energy into his work, vlogging his journey and racing to see the aquarium finished. But in a heartbreaking video posted on January 5th, 2024, a frail but determined Brian told his followers he was entering hospice care.
This last year has been difficult, with my cancer and with the ups and downs of treatment and feeling sick. I really truly believe that we could beat this. And even in the face of doing all this, I hope I inspired you guys that, you know, we closely built the Legacy Aquarium. Listen, I wanted to be there and greeting you guys at the open. That's all I dreamt of. But unfortunately, gotta tell you that that's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna be there to see the open. I'm not even gonna be there to see it done. Now, Lori is going to make sure the legacy is done. It's her legacy too. And Steve Bashy, my partner, is going to be there to help see it through. And Jay Tomsky and Jay Tingle and everyone else is going to be here. Unfortunately, you guys aren't going to see me in the future because I go tomorrow, actually. I go into hospice, which means that I don't have long to go after that, but don't worry about me.
Unfortunately, he passed away just 9 days later at the age of 54, with his family continuing to post videos on his platform. But the next creator was so loved that over 100 people decided to continue his legacy. One of the most brilliant and influential creators in the early days of YouTube was Colin Wyckoff, better known as Kitty0706. His hilarious series, using assets from games like Team Fortress 2 and Garry's Mod, especially the iconic Team Fabulous 2, basically defined a whole new style of internet humor. In 2012, Colin was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia. He fought it into remission, but it returned a year later. He passed away in January 2015 at just 20 years old. His death was a massive loss for the early animation and gaming communities that he had helped shape. But his story doesn't end there. In 2020, 5 years after he died, a massive collaboration was announced. Over 100 animators, many of whom were directly inspired by Colin's work, came together to completely reanimate his Magnum Opus, Team Fabulous 2. The tribute was released to overwhelming support and raised over $22,000 for leukemia research. Colin helped define a generation of internet humor. However, years later, another young creator would capture the internet. To millions of Minecraft players, the name Technoblade is just famous. It's legendary. Known for his deadpan humor and his unbelievable skill in player versus player combat, he was an absolute titan of the gaming world. But in mid-2021, after a noticeable absence, he came back with shocking news.
It's not going great. I'm not going to lie to you. So in the last few days of July, I noticed that my right arm was starting to hurt a decent amount, and I thought my best guess was that it was some kind of repetitive stress injury. So, you know, the next day, August 2nd, I headed over to the doctor to see what was wrong, and they ran a couple of scans, and then they came back and they told me that the reason my arm hurts is because I have cancer.
Despite the diagnosis, he kept creating content with his signature wit, even titling one video, "I almost became an amputee," while somehow finding humor in his own grim situation. He used his platform for good, raising over $300,000 for the Sarcoma Foundation of America. But in June 2022, the fight came to an end.
Hi, I'm Technoblade's dad. He wrote a message and he asked me to read it to all of you. Hello everyone, Technoblade here. If you're watching this,
The video was a gut punch to the community. It's since been viewed hundreds of millions of times, and the comment section has become a living digital memorial. The phrase "Technoblade never dies" flooded the internet, becoming a rallying cry for his fans. Technoblade's death hit an entire generation of gamers, but even before his time, there was one voice in the gaming world that stood above the noise. John Bain, known to the world as Total Biscuit, or the cynical Brit, wasn't just a game reviewer. He was a fierce consumer advocate in the gaming industry. His WTF Is series gave exhaustive first impressions of new games, and his critiques were unflinching, respected, and hugely influential. In 2014, he was diagnosed with bowel cancer, and he was incredibly open about his health.
How long have you been living with cancer now?
Over 3 years.
Wow.
3 or 4 years now.
I think honestly, you've handled it with like great grace and optimism from the very beginning. That's inspired me. And first of all, thank you for doing that.
Of course.
I think it's been a beacon of light, I think, for a lot of people who've just like seen how you can handle it with dignity.
In May 2018, knowing his time was short, he officially announced his retirement from game criticism because his body was shutting down. He passed away just a few weeks later at the age of 33. His wife Jenna, who had co-hosted his popular Co-Optional podcast, took over the show just as he had wished, continuing the space for discussion that he had built.